welcome back. Millennial men have a very retro view of the future, apparently, according to a survey featured in the New York Times. The majority of them want to be the breadwinner of the family and want their wives to stay at home and be moms.
Hey, you know, I'd like that, you know. Steve,
I would, too.
I have my husband waiting at home with a martini. Steve Janowitz, are you listening?
No, they want you to be at home.
No, I don't want that. I like the other.
You like it the other way around. I can see them
not
wanting to
staying
be
home.
breadwinners, because I think one thing I've seen in every man is just to be the breadwinner doesn't always mean they want you at home. They just always want to make more than you. I think it's a ingrained power thing. Like, I think they struggle with that if it's not that way.
If
Isn't
women
it
make
kinda
more.
weird?
If a woman makes more.
Women have made more than their husbands in the last, 15 years more than I think ever before. Aren't they old enough to recognize that that's a possibility, that your wife might have a better job?
But I'm surprised they just want, that millennials at that age want their partners to be stay-at-home moms, because you would think they've grown up with a lot of working moms because
that's
of the
literally
economy.
what I'm saying, isn't it? I mean, they're old enough now to know that this exists in the world. Why are they freaked out by
Well,
it?
single mother families, have to work harder, and maybe they don't want to see that anymore.
You need two income earners
incomes.
because of the economy.
It's, they would love it if their wives could stay home, if mommy could have stayed home and taken care, and then they come home and everything's done for them.
Maybe
Who
that's
doesn't
what it
like
is.
That's not
that?
what happens
Too
when I stay
bad.
home.
It's not going to happen.
It's interesting, because I used to tour a lot of college campuses.
Yeah.
And my conversations with them is that it's not about money, but a lot of millennials in general, men and women, they're in this environment with technology. They feel very unstable, and they look back at that time when, the dad went out to work and brought home, and there was stability in the home, and there was this sense of family and tradition.
Your mothers were
and
probably
sometimes
drinking and taking drugs and everything else.
I mean, what year are we talking about?
No, but
because
that's
most
53.
women, but those are not the millennials. The millennials are my grandkids.
Millennials are 20s.
My grandkid is 20. One of my
Right.
grandkids is 27. So she is aware, and my grandson is aware that, that doesn't necessarily constitute a reality for most families, because they live in a household where mom and dad work.
Maybe they're watching too many reruns of, like, Leave It to Beaver.
Maybe.
Father knows best. But the scenario keeps women in their place. So they have basically channeling, this right-wing notion that women should stay home and not fight for their rights.
I think millennials are smarter than that. They know better.
But let's face it, being a stay-at-home mom is one of the most difficult jobs that you can have. You're really working. You're just not working outside of the home. I remember when I had Gabriel, I didn't trust anyone to watch him, so I decided I was going to be a stay-at-home mom. It only lasted for about 8 months for me, because I drove everyone crazy, and my husband was basically like, please go back to work. So, I found it exceedingly difficult.
I did it for 3 years. I almost had a nervous breakdown.
It's very hard.
Yeah. See, I think what's being craved more is a sense of family, and not necessarily, dad has to be breadwinner or whatever it is, but it's more a sense of when you turn on, when I watch Back to the Future and they go back to 1955, I don't want women to not have those rights, but there is something about it that I look back and I say there was a sense of family. Everyone ate around the dinner table together. That's what they're pulling.
I begged them not to eat with me. I begged them. It was a nightmare at dinner to have to sit with them and eat. I never understood
I'm
that.
going to come eat with you every
The Kennedy family.
We still do that.
You still do it, but there's something nice about that.
Did you ever read about the Kennedy family? Joe Kennedy would have all these kids, and they'd have to tell him what the politics of the day was, and what did they learn today. And these kids grew up to be neurotic.
No, that's what I do.
Doing.
I have, Jed knows, I have family dinners and
I have family dinner.
Yeah, and we talk to each other, and I ask them what their highlight was of the day and what their low light was of the day.
Is there a low light?
This is what you call low lights.
That's what I want.
These are low lights.
And we do talk about
these
current
are
events.
highlights. And you just grabbed my boob.
You can be a working mom and dad and still have family dinners.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
You can.
And I'm just jealous because I never had that.
Yeah, well, the 50s weren't all that exciting.
Believe me, they weren't.
A lot of folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, because mom and dad had no choice but to go to work.
Yeah.
And sometimes mom and dad we're struggling to just put food on the table.
I mean, when I asked my mother one time, you know, I said to my mother, who was a sewing machine operator, my father was a truck driver. My mother had to work, and he was a compulsive gambler. So there was always money problems in the family.
That's a story.
And I said to my mother, would you rather have been a doctor or a doctor's wife? And she said a doctor's wife, because she was also trained to think that the man should go out and that she should stay home and enjoy the house and redecorate and put plastic covers on the
she just didn't like
sofa.
science.
That's where she was at. And that is a 50s mentality that doesn't work anymore.
Well,
no woman is going to say a doctor's wife anymore.
Well, I didn't love science.
Some
so
do.
I might say
Some
that.
do.
Some do.
Very few.
Some do.
Doctor's wife right there.
Yeah.
Look at her.
Doctor's wife.
And I was going to be a doctor's wife, stay-at-home mom, for sure. I mean, I think that there are women...
But then what happened? You went to law school.
No, I was already a
already a
lawyer.
lawyer.
I was already a lawyer, and I couldn't stay at home. But I went crazy at home.
Yes.
But the thing is, there are women that want to. Their job is to raise their families. That's what they want to
admire
do, and I admire that.
Yes.
I mean, I wish I could have.
My daughter does it.
I wish I had the
She's the
temperament
best
to
mother.
do it. I just didn't have the temperament to do it.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.